everybody. I'm Clayton.
I'm Aiden.
I'm Tavi.
And you are listening to the Deep Focus Show. Oh, I'm so glad we're done with the 70s. We are continuing Spielbergathon. And, we've tackled some notable films in the 70s, but that last one, man, that was...
A great movie.
I don't know. I guess we can call it that. Again, the question remains, is Tavi going to be the middleman again? And am I going to be at the bottom? Who knows? I guess you'll know now. We're talking about his first feature-length film in the 80s. Big, monumental film here. We've got Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Give him the whip. Throw me the idol. No time to argue. Throw me the idol. I throw you the whip. Give me the whip. Adiós, señor.
Arriba, Suspiro.
You guys remember the first time y'all watched this? Obviously, I would hope both of you have seen this. I've seen this. It's one of my mom's favorite films, probably next to Mamma Mia, but
Funny combination. Yeah, I think I saw it for the first time. I was probably like 8 years old, and then I just saw it like regularly after that, like a lot of other kind of those classic films,
Yeah, I mean, I was born in the 90s, and I'm wondering, like, you guys, y'all are like early to mid 2000s. We're all adults here, though, so don't worry about that. I wonder how still much of a cultural impact it was on your childhood. Like, did your friends or peers, whenever you were younger, know about Indiana Jones? Or, I mean, mine certainly did. And
yeah, everyone I knew had seen it.
Yeah, I think everyone knew Indiana Jones. I don't know, did they all seen the film, but I think they knew the character at least.
Character, the music.
The
And
music
it's
as well,
crazy.
yeah.
Like, it's crazy. This used to be played on in the background all the time at my house, and I remember every scene practically from rewatching this, and like it was a fast rewatch. I really didn't have to pay as much attention because I knew it all already, and it's
you have like the roadmap in front of you.
Yep, exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. We're gonna get started. Let's go the order from the way it's been with our top Spielberg enthusiast here, and then Tommy, and then myself.
Okay. Yeah, so Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, there's not really a ton to even say about it, since so much has kind of already been said. It's like it's kind of a monumental film for a reason. To me, this is pretty much perfect. I don't see any flaws. You have the story by George Lucas, who also created the character, and that's just a great kind of throwback to the 1930s serials, kind of like how Star Wars was. And Spielberg is an amazing director, so he just executes that concept so well that it's pretty great.
My question to you: do you think Steven Spielberg had much of an impact on this film as opposed to George Lucas?
I don't necessarily know. I think this is a film that the directing helps it, but it's not like the main draw. I think here Spielberg is kind of just like executing the script. Like, I don't know how much he's delivering his own kind of twist to it, but I don't really think that matters when you've got such a great story to work with. So I think it's a great film. I don't like, it's hard to even comment on specific attributes because basically everything to me is pretty much perfect. So I'm giving it a 5. Watch it. It's a classic for a reason. Like, a lot of films from the 80s, I think there's a reason why they have that status. I think we'll be talking about some of them soon with the John Hughes episode as well, which I think a lot of those also deserve kind of as much attention as in terms of 80s films. This is just like a great escapist. It's a throwback to 1930s, 1940s, real adventure cinema. It isn't like the very boring films. No, I don't want to be too mean on like 70s dramas, but it is true. A lot of them are defined by how like somber and self-serious there are, and it's nice to have a film that does away with that pretense and just shows you a great story in a fun and engaging way. So 5 stars.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah, you're exactly right. Especially, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That was pretty serious. That was very of its time, and I think I even marked in that review that it was sort of transitional. This is just completely complementary to the 80s. I feel like we're out of the 70s. We're out of that era. We've moved on.
Yeah. I think like Spielberg had some scenes he wanted in the screenplay that he suggested to George Lucas. Raiders of the Lost Ark, I guess a classic for a reason. Action adventure film. Harrison Ford and everyone is trying to find the Ark of the Covenant. And I would just say that this film is a pure fun overload. So much fun. So easy to watch. It has some scary parts, at least when I was a little kid. Like a couple of scenes that are a bit scary, but
You more scared of spiders or snakes, Tommy?
honestly, my scary parts were the skeleton scene with Karen Allen and like the ending that happens with the Nazis when they open the Ark. Those were my. But yeah, Harrison Ford is fantastic here. He's well, everyone knows Indiana Jones, so he's a very cool character. Harrison Ford himself is a handsome dude as well. I also like the fact that Indiana feels human with all of his fears, and he's also not like too overpowered. There's always something that's coming up to him, and like a bigger dude fighting him. He has to find ways to beat them up. John Williams' score is, I would say, one of the best in the business. Honestly, it's so memorable and iconic now, of course. And I don't even know in a way what to say here. I would agree with Aiden that there isn't really flaws to me here. like I'm having so much fun in here, so I kinda perhaps forgetting some that could be. But yeah, this was the highest grossing film of 1981, and it's for a reason. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 as well. Love this a lot.
All right. No more middleman.
No
Yeah.
more.
No more. That's fine. You guys nailed it. People often criticize nostalgia. Of course, you get the folks who say things like, "Oh, they just don't make films like they used to," and to some extent, that's kind of true. But like, those people can be really close-minded as well, I feel like. And I guess I can't really remember a good adventure film that's standalone. Most are remakes, like that Uncharted film, and most recently this past spring I saw The Lost City, and that's more of a rom-com adventure type movie with some really, really bad CGI. But a standalone adventure is hard to come by these days, and this isn't standalone anymore. And I'm not sure if it was his intentions to make a trilogy, but I guess I'd prefer this more if it was just a standalone movie. This might be the best one out of the trilogy, if I'm going to be honest. That probably won't be the case for Jurassic Park 1, but it really depends on, I rewatch these, and even though I'm quite familiar with both of these franchises, unlike Jaws, I haven't seen the sequels to that film. Yeah, the first Indiana Jones film might be my favorite. Unlike Jaws, right from the beginning, Jaws has this sort of loud, bombastic, recognizable theme and score. What's different with this film and the score that's so recognizable is that it gradually comes in at just the right time.
Dr. Jones, again we see there is nothing you can possess which I cannot take away. And you thought I'd given up. You chose the wrong friends. This time it will cost you.
Too bad the Jovitos don't know you the way I do, Belloc.
Yes, too bad. You could warn them, if only you spoke Jovitos. Hokana Matuso! Nobata!
Start the engine! Get it up! Start the engine! Start the engine! Stop! way, Jock! Oh, that's just my pet snake, Reggie! I hate snakes, Jock! I hate them! Come on, show a little backbone, will ya?
And John Williams, he's so good at creating. He know it's like he knows exactly what is being put to screen. There's not really a big title sequence that you often see today in your typical Avengers films. It sort of builds to the scene, and then right whenever the chase from the bad guys begin, he swings a rope, and then you get the da 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 da, and of course the iconic running gag of his fear of snakes. Much is revealed about the character of Indiana Jones, right from the get-go, like from the first 10 minutes. Like, right off the bat who he is, his fears, his desires. I think he's sort of complex in that he garners, preservation. And I think that desire is an interesting concept to explore, like whether museum preservation is really a good thing. It's the idea that if you resurrect a lost artifact, like, for example, the extended cut of the Magnificent Ambersons, like, should the public be able to view that film? That's a very lesser degree example that I'm using because, although film is very, very important, it's nowhere near as important as cultural artifacts that people actually worship. And I simply don't have the criteria to debate that kind of moral aspect because I'm a white American. But I can recognize that stealing from other cultures for artifactual displays and buying and selling those things are inherently wrong. Like, I read a true story of actual mummies being bought and sold on the deep web. And it's really no different than visiting these socially acceptable places which display heirlooms. It's not really yours to admire. It's not really yours to worship. And I guess I can't really back up our dear Indy here. I think he's complex though, but at the same time, he's also very much a caricature character. He has a specific archetype, and yeah, you need that. That's really cool. He's so well defined that other action characters replicate Indiana Jones. A recent example, like The Rock's character in Disney's Jungle Cruise, another kind of terrible action movie. They've just burned this film up to death, and I guess in a sense that kind of hinders my enjoyment of it. But you got to really watch it, knowing the fact that this film really pioneered a genre. And of course, there's terrible stereotypes in this film. Like, it almost promotes an us versus them attitude that I really don't like at all. But I guess that's to come with the territory. And I mean, Jaws is also on pioneering the genre. Jaws is also probably the first to do that. But those sequels, at least from what I hear, are pretty corny and cheesy. Jaws probably created the 46 something meters down, 4.5 or whatever. This had more of a cultural impact. And I mean, for better or worse, it's a good film, but like, it's just it's a 3.5 for me. Like, I've seen it so many times, and I can't really take anything else away from it. So it's good. It's very good, but it's like not one of my favorites.
Oh
Crazy
my.
man. Crazy.
But it's cool. Like, people love it. It's adored, and it's not for me.
My oh my.
Dang.
I know. I do like
Hmm.
the next one we're gonna cover.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah, that's our Indiana Jones talk. We will be talking about this franchise more because there's a couple more to get through. Maybe I'll go in depth a little bit more on those films, but place your bets now. Is Raiders of the Lost Ark going to be my favorite Indiana Jones film? I can't tell.
You
Fuck,
have
I might
spicy
give all
enough
of these
takes,
3.5.
It might be a no. Like, I don't know though. Most people say this is the best. I'm kind of agnostic on that debate. I don't know.
Oh, we're looking at 555s for Aiden. Then
Maybe.
Damn.
Poppy's
Nice.
a wild card.
I just checked that the second highest grossing film of 1981 was On Golden Bond, like a family drama film. Yeah.
Who does that have in it?
Henry Fonda is the main lead.
Yeah.
I think Katharine Hepburn, maybe. I don't remember that well.
Yeah. Jane Fonda also.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah.
And third is Superman 2.
Oh,
Honestly,
Aiden's fave.
Superman 2 is probably better than this, I have to say.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't seen Superman 2, so I can't say anything.
It's
but-
good. That's very good.
Another franchise that pioneered a different type of franchise love. It's just there's multifaceted layers to this kind of franchise devotion, and I just fuck it. But it's fun.
Yeah.
I like Superman enough, but I don't really care for the character of Superman that much.
We
Oh,
need
well.
to watch the old movies
Yeah, we
for
should
the show.
definitely. We'll be back on Spielbergathon with ET. We'll probably have a guest on that episode. More than likely.
Yep.
You'll be seeing Andrew, and he's going to be in for John Hughes as well as our dear co-host Vanessa. Thanks, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.